Now that we have a starting point on our connections, we're ready to finally create our first construction method. And if I go into assembly on the main screen, you can see we have a few options here that come with Cabinet Vision, and you probably have a list of your own if you've already been using Cabinet Vision. But for the sake of learning the construction method better, I like to create a brand new one. Because sometimes when things are just working out of the box, you don't really know what the options are and how it got to the point that it is now. So I'm just going to call this Cabinet Explorer Frameless, and I'm going to leave it on 32mm. Later in another section we'll cover both face frame and frameless. They give you the option to pre-select some connections on your ends and your interior parts, but I'm going to leave everything on none for the same reason I just mentioned, so we can see where everything comes from. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, and if we go back into assembly and hit the drop down, we'll see our Cabinet Explorer Frameless. And we see all the questions that we can go through and answer. You know, like if I click on the deck, I can see all the questions about the deck. Now, one thing that I always do, not only right when I'm starting, but if I need to make a change, is I'll always work inside of a job rather than here at the main screen. Because I'm a visual guy. I like to see things how they look, and I like to verify the changes inside a job instead of just answering questions blindly here. So let's start a job, and then we'll start editing that new construction method. Okay, so when we create a new job, I just want to make sure I have our Cabinet Explorer frameless, and then you'll see some of the options that we set up in previous versions. We just have a lot of very simple options. I don't need to worry too much about doors, so I'm just going to let that right like it is. Like I said, the main thing is that you're on that new construction method that we just created. Okay, so the first thing I want to do inside the job is let's draw a wall and put a base cabinet on it. I always start with base cabinets and then work my way into walls and taws. Okay, so we have a box that came in. It doesn't have a toe kick. And when you do that, when you click New Construction, you're going to see it looks very different. If you copy from one of the other ones, you know, it'll be closer to correct. But again, I like to do this just so you can see that we can take a box from, you know, from nothing into what we're looking for. So when I'm working, like I said, I like to do it visually, and I don't necessarily go in a, you know, A to Z type of order. What I like to do is just identify one thing at a time, go change it in the construction method, make sure it looks right, and then identify the next thing. It just makes it much more approachable rather than trying to click through 1,000 questions. Just, you know, I think it's more doable this way. So, for example, let's just put the toe kick on to help this look a little bit more like a cabinet. So here's how we're going to edit the construction method. We're going to go to Room, we're going to go to Cabinet, and we're going to modify for this room. So what's happening here is I'm editing the construction method inside this job, or specifically inside this room, and it's not affecting any other, you know, it's not affecting my main construction method. And then whenever we're happy with it, we can actually save it over top of our main construction method. So this is great for a new construction, but it's especially great if you're, you know, working on a construction method that you already have in place. You know, you don't want to make changes without making sure it's correct. So I like to always do this modify for this room option. It's just a very safe way of editing construction methods. Okay, so again, try not to get lost in these questions because there's a lot of questions. So remember we wanted to put the toe kick on, so let's only look at the toe kick. So I'm going to go to exterior case and go to toe kick, and let's just answer a couple questions here to get a visual. So I'm going to say let's do a 4-inch toe kick. The graphic can be helpful to see what it is. And then we'll go to the next question. Do you want to build it with toe kick or legs or both? I'm just going to do regular toe kick. The recess, let's do 3 inches. Now I don't really care about these questions just yet. Like I said, let's just focus on the main thing. Okay, there we go. That's looking better. So now we can click into that. Okay, now for this video I'm going to do like what I would call, an integrated toe kick in. So I'm going to make so the finished ends are just notched instead of having this loose box. And again, there's a lot of different ways to build a cabinet. This is just going to be an example that we work through. So what I want to do is I want to make the finished end come down to the floor. So I'll go back into my construction method. And there's two main sections that I like to think of. The more general questions, like banding and which way a part's flipped, and more of just kind of like what I would consider general questions, happen up here in interior and exterior case. If it deals with how the part is connected to another part, it's going to be down here in the connection settings. So right at first, you're not going to know which one to pick. Like, if I would want to look at the deck, it's going to be confusing for you to know whether to look at deck in the exterior case or deck in the connection. And like I said, under the exterior case, it's more just general information. Which way does the grain go? Face up, face down. Just kind of some general questions. Whereas if I click on deck here, it's going to be asking me, how does your deck and this part connect? Alright, so in this case, I'm going to close up the exterior case and go to connections for deck. And it's asking me, how does your deck and finished end connect? So this format will be seen quite often through the construction method. And I'm not going to explain everything just right up front. I'm just going to, as you see me answer a few questions, you'll get more familiar, but I want to explain a little bit as I go as well. So it's going to ask me, what kind of joint do I want to do? So right now it's set on extend deck all the way to the outside of the finished end. That's why it's splitting at the toe kick. And you can see there's several questions here, and the bottom one here is extend finished end to floor. And you can see I get that nice little graphic showing that it's going all the way to the floor. So after you pick the joint, you have the ability to adjust it. So if I'd put, 1.5 inches here, it would actually go 1.5 inches below the floor. You can do negative and positive adjustments. And then the other thing we can do is we can edit the connection. So the deck connection would be, how does the deck connect to the finished end? So for example, I could put a qualified blind dado there. And let's go look at what that did. We did two things right now. We towed the finished end to go all the way to the floor, and we put a qualified blind dado from the deck to the finished end. Okay, so you see our finished end goes all the way to the floor, and if we zoom in, you can see that we have that little tenon there. If I would actually click on the end and look at it in the part view, turn my operations on. So there you can see that qualified blind dado that we set up in the previous video, in the connections video. And so that is working perfectly. Okay, so then we would just keep working our way through. I'm going to be mostly doing qualified blind dados here. So I would kind of look at this toe kick and see that, well, that's not going to work. It's sticking past. So let's go look at the toe kick connection settings. And so that's the route I want you to take when you're editing your construction. Like, identify what's wrong, try to figure out where it's at in the construction method. So when I come in here, I have to determine, is this a more general toe kick question, or is this dealing with how it connects? So I know that this is dealing with how it connects because the toe kick's simply out of position. So I'm going to go to toe kick, and how does your front toe and finished end connect? It says extend toe kick to outside of finished end. And sometimes these questions are confusing. And if you want, you can click through a couple and see how the graphic changes. But what I'm trying to accomplish is a butt joint into the finished end with a qualified blind dado. And then it's going to ask us about back toes. So we're going to stop right there and we're going to see if that gives us what we need. That looks great. So now you can see we have blind dados on two parts. Next, you see we're missing a top and we're missing a drawer stretcher. And the reason it's not adding is because we need to tell it how big those default sizes are. So let's go make it add top stretchers, and then let's put dados on those top stretchers. So I'm going to go back to my construction settings. And this is the first part of this is a more general question. I want to determine what type of top it has. So I'm going to click on the top in the exterior case section. And it's going to ask me what type of top I want to use. So I can do a full top or top stretchers. We're going to learn more about branches, so we can put full tops on uppers and talls and top stretchers on base cabinets, but for now I only want to worry about base cabinets. So I'll put it on top stretchers, and then it will ask me what my default size is, and I'm just going to put 4 inches for the front, 4 inches for the back, 4 inches for the web frame, and 4 inches for the gusset. Now I'm not really planning on using gussets or web frames, but I'm just going to enter that size in there just in case I ever use it. And then that answers the first part of the question. Now let's go into the top section in connections and put that blind dado. How does your top and finished in connect? Extend finished in. There'll be 2 questions here. So extend finished in to top of top and top of case, or top of face, excuse me. These will be same some of the times, but for example, if you'd put like a 1/2 inch top scribe, then it would be different, because top of face will always go to the top of the cabinet, whereas if your top is held down, do you want the finished in to be held down too? So a lot of times I'll go to top of face, but if you like the way the scribe holds it down, you can absolutely play with that. And then because there's so many different options for top, it actually gives us multiple connections to pick from. And remember how we set up that blind dado for large parts and blind dado for small parts, just to be able to better, make it fit in there without downsizing the dado too much? We could pick a large blind dado on our full top, and then a small one on our qualified blind dado. And then I'm going to leave web frame and gusset off. So let's go look what that did. Okay, looking good. So you can see it's starting to look like a cabinet already. Now, one thing that I want to note, if I go to section and put an unfinished end on, first of all, we've only been working on finished ends, so this thing's probably going to look pretty rough. You can see it's splitting just like the finished end was originally. So first of all, let's tell the deck to butt into it and the unfinished end to extend down. And then I want to show you something with connections. For example, on unfinished ends, I want to pre-drill and put a blind dado, and we haven't discussed that yet, so that's coming next. But let's go fix this unfinished end before we do that. Okay, so I'm going to go to connections. This is dealing with how a part connects. I'm going to go to deck, and this is exactly where we were a couple minutes ago, except we only answered the finished end question. So let's go to the next one. How does your deck and unfinished end connect? And basically set it the same way. Extend unfinished end to floor and put a qualified blind dado large. Okay, so that's looking close. You can see it needs to go up to the top of the face, just like we did the finished end. But before we do that, I want to do a pre-drill and a blind dado. And if we look, there is a blind dado happening right here, but I have no way of selecting multiple connections. So what I mean by that is if I go back to that question we were just looking at, and go to the unfinished end one, there's no way for me to pick multiple ones. So how do I do that if I want to put a pre-drill along with a qualified blind dado? And that's something called connection sets. So we need to actually close out and go back to the main screen. But before we do that, remember how we're just kind of working in this job. We're not working on our actual construction method. So if I would just close out of Cabinet Vision right now, I would lose those changes. So before you start jumping around, there's two things that you need to do. First of all, same way we was going in to modify the construction in the room, I want to hit Save as System, because I've looked at this and I like the way it looks. And what I always tell people is, whenever you click that Save as System button, just take a deep breath and be careful, because this is overlaying your entire construction method, and it's potentially possible that you would click the wrong one and overlay a totally wrong set of settings onto something that was already working. So anytime you hit this Save as System button, especially if you already have Cabinet Vision in a production environment, just hit Save as System, go to the Replace tab, just verify you are replacing the one you're working on, take your time, and then hit Save. And now this step right here is what's actually saying, yes, this is how I want this construction method to be. It's taking it from just temporarily inside this job to becoming our main construction. Okay, so that's saved. And so now it would be safe to close out of this job, because that's now our main construction method. So if I'd start a new one, it's going to look exactly like how we left it. But the other thing I like to do while I'm working on, because I know I have a lot of work on this construction method specifically, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll also just save a job just as a kind of redundancy to make sure I don't lose my changes. So let's just do CE frameless setup. Okay, so now I have kind of that two method option. If I forget to save it as system construction, it's okay, I can just open the job and get back to where I was. So let's close out of this and get into our building a connection set. And I'm going to break the video here just to help you move around in the lessons. But in the next video, we're going to build a set, and then we're going to resume what we were doing in this video.